Well, as a woman in the music industry, I would say it's definitely an amazing opportunity to show the world what I as a female, what I'm capable of. Because for some reason, women are mostly underrated, mostly underappreciated. And unfortunately, the opportunities that are available for females aren't, anything to write home about in comparison to that of the guys. And I say this with all love because I am inspired by a lot of my male counterparts in the industry. But if being a female is the one thing that would continuously hinder me, I have decided to embrace that fact because I love being a woman. And I've told myself every now and then, every time I tell myself that it's important to continue to earn my spot. Because why would anyone, put up a show? Say for instance, there are certain concerts that have a lineup of male artists, let's say 10 artists, and then they'll say make space for at least a woman, then they put one spot for a female. Why? Whereas a lot of the females have great numbers. And these are questions I cannot answer, and that's why I like to always encourage my dear females. I know that this world is tough and things are happening, but it's important to just keep moving. Do not stop. I would say that it's also true that gender equality is almost non-existent in Africa. I think it also might have to do with the culture, where women are being told that their places are that their place is in the kitchen. I think everybody needs to be in the kitchen when it's time to be in the kitchen, because we all have to eat. But bearing that in mind, bearing the fact that gender equality is non-existent, it is more important for me to rise above all the boundaries and restrictions. I'll say, for instance, when I just recently released Johnny is the one song that brought me to the limelight. I was performing this song and people still didn't want to pay me for my performances. They felt I needed to still prove myself. It was sad and I didn't understand it, but I continued moving. And I would say to anyone out there that delay is not denial. We have been delayed for generations before me and are still being delayed right now. But it's important to know that it is not denial. There's so many female heroes, female heroines that have, been mentioned in history. I, for one, definitely love the story of Queen Amina, how victorious she was. Can you just imagine the battles she fought? Not just the battles on the battlefield, but the battles amongst herself and her kingsmen, amongst herself and her followers. The fact that they felt that she was inferior because she was female. So much so that, some things had to go down because of the disbelief that women were capable of anything. But she was one of the greatest conquerors of the northern Nigeria. There's so many great females. There was the one female who was the king of Ethiopia right before Haile Selassie. There's also Queen Cleopatra, and I love Maya Angelou. In her poems, in her poetry, the way she describes femininity, the way she describes the power that lies in us. You know how people do when they see people with power and they start to feel inferior? I feel like that is what the world does when they see females. They see how great they are and how impactful they can be, and because they don't want to shrink, they don't want to shrink or step aside, they decide to obstruct or block. I would just say, please, anybody out there, when you see a woman that knows what she's doing and what she's saying, don't be intimidated. Just understand, agree, align, fall in place. You have two hands, I have two hands. A word is enough for the wise.